Because one of these days, maybe I'm going to go out of town.
But you're going to come back, right?
You never know.
All right, quiet on the set. 5, 4, 3.
This is the Project B.A.I.T. News Analysis, the Rambeau Report for my people. You know, I've said and spoken to you many times about lectures, speeches being presented in venues around the city, particularly at universities, and how by and large they're mediocre. I mean, the presenters by and large make, at least to my way of thinking, a whole lot of mistakes and really make poor presentations generally. They just won't do a good job. They won't prepare adequately, all right? And a lot of the folk who go to them just go and applaud and, you know, and don't know any better. And by and large, nobody will comment on it. I don't know if it's that other media folk don't go to lectures, or maybe it's not interesting to them. I mean, I can understand it. Because typically I feel like walking out on them. And most of them, even the ones I go to, I get bothered by them. And some I walk out on. Well, bless me, I went to a presentation. It was a combination lecture at the Museum of African American History recently, Women's History Month. And they had two women speaking. Madame Aristide, the wife of the former president of Haiti, and Maxine Waters, Congresswoman from California. Well, as typically, they started late. I mean, they said, in the reception, which I was invited to, thank you, great food. The caterer was outstanding, Lorenzo. I mean, in fact, the catering for the ones I go to at the museum, the catering generally is very good. So that puts you in a good frame of mind, all right? And then you talk, you network. So a lot of people I see that, because I don't go to too many things, okay? All right, so I went upstairs, but before that, before we went upstairs from the reception area in the lower level, they said they were going to start on time. Well, we went upstairs, okay? And we sat. No, went downstairs and sat in the classroom. We were in the classroom, okay, in the lower level. So we sat and sat. So I talked to a couple of my colleagues. I said, I may have to go up to the podium and get the discussion started, since they seem to be having trouble starting the lecture. I mean, I've done that in the past, effectively. Frankly, better than the speakers for the most part. Oh, but I did, and they told me to sit, be cool. So I sat and sat and sat. So finally they started. Went through a litany of introductions, all right. And then they introduced Madame Aristide, and she gave the best presentation of any that I've heard. She set it out on the history of colonialism and oppression in Haiti. But more than that, in terms of the history she presented about Haiti, and they video recorded it so you can get it, she did a critique of Western colonialism, the United States, France, and Europe. The two primary nations, the United States and France. Secondary, Spain. In terms of their historic, I mean like 4 or 5 centuries of exploitation and genocide in the area of Haiti, the nation, and well, now the nation of Haiti, and how originally the Spanish and the French, for example, came over and worked the indigenous people, the Indians there, to death. They genocided them, just like they did in the United States, the Native Americans here. And then she went on to talk about the exploitation, the wars, the murders, the disinvestment, the blockades, the troops. She set it out. Western civilization. Absolutely disgusting. The relationship to Haiti. And then, if you had a background, historical background, you immediately thought, well, hey, they did the same thing in this country. So when anybody tells you, make America great again, for what? Genocide, colonialism, and war. That's the history. 5 centuries in this continent. North America. Same thing in South America. Same thing in Africa. Same thing in the Middle East. Same thing in the Far East. A history of colonialism, genocide, oppression, and exploitation. Plain. She set it out. One of the best lectures I've ever heard. Plus, her delivery was good. You know, sometimes the presenter can have good content but poor delivery, and sometimes the reverse. She put them both together. Great content, great delivery. See if you can get a copy of it from the Museum of African American History. And they should be commended for having Black History Month in February and Women's History Month in March. This has been another Project B.A.I.T. News Analysis, the Rambeau Report for my people.